Here are 7 signs of a low-value man. Number 1. They have little to no emotional intelligence. It's hard to be successful in life if you have low emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence includes having self-awareness, managing your emotions, understanding other people's emotions, and being able to develop positive relationships. Having emotional intelligence is what allows us to control our life. Men who have low emotional intelligence are more prone to showing erratic behavior, and lose focus of the important things in life like their goals, and becoming a better version of themselves they were the week, month, or year before. When a man has low self-awareness, he doesn't know what he likes, what he's passionate about, or even what he wants out of life. They end up following someone else's path, and listen to people like their parents that tell them, "You should get this job because it pays good." They aren't the type of men who work on their own projects, and you'll usually find them working at some random place of employment with no purpose. Now, when it comes to low self-management, this means they are the men who seek out as much short-term pleasure as possible, and avoid doing the harder things that will lead to better long-term results. They spend all of their money on flashy things in hopes to receive some sort of validation, but actually haven't saved or invested any of their money. When it comes to social skills, a low-value man will not have many. Because he has low self-awareness and poor relationship management, he has poor people skills. Number 2. They have no drive or purpose. As I said earlier, men who don't have their own goals end up doing things that other people want them to do. Though working for someone else does not indicate you are a low-value man. But when you are the type of man who just takes whatever comes his way with no preference or no ambition to move up in the company, certainly is an indication. Low-value men live vicariously. Let me explain. They are the type of men that, since they have no personal success, they latch onto other things they might be passionate about that actually don't benefit them at all, and lie outside of their control. An example could be a man who merges his own ego with a specific sports team, and whose quality of life is basically based on if quote-unquote, his team wins or loses. They spend most of their time talking about, paying attention to, and basically promoting other people's lives like professional athletes. Number 3. They have an undeserved, giant ego. A big ego alone does not mean that a man is of low value. There are plenty of men with big egos who are of high status and high value. Men like Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather. They can come off as arrogant, but their big egos actually serve them by giving them, and people around them, confidence. Not to mention it also helps them sell more tickets. But when a man has a giant ego that does not match his skills or results, most people will try to avoid him at all costs. When men have big egos, their mindset is usually set in stone, and their egos are most likely fragile. Yes, that's right. A man can have a big ego and a fragile ego all at once. That's why you see a man with a big ego get really defensive really fast when he feels like his ego has been threatened. They are the types of men who are often controlling towards their spouses, and lash out in anger very easily. Now, when a man has a fixed mindset, it's because he stopped improving, and stopped learning new things. They believe skills, abilities, and personal qualities are something that people are born with, and they let that define who they are. Number 4. They don't care. Or at least like to say they don't. There are plenty of men out there who say, "I don't care," too many times throughout the day. When most of the time the truth is that they do care. They just say they don't because if they said they do care, then that means they would have to do something about the situation. Low-value men don't care about the things that could actually make them more of a high-value man. Things like what they do, how much they make, focusing on improvements, who he hangs out with, his health. They don't tend to care much about their looks either. They're content with being out of shape, and wearing sweats all day every day. Number 5. They are submissive pushovers. Low-value men come off as the nice guy that everyone can push around. People ask him for constant favors without giving any favors back in return. And he still does them. But being a nice guy doesn't necessarily mean you are a low-value man. But many so-called nice guys aren't even actually nice. They're just afraid to say no to most people. Sometimes these types of men seem nice but can be brutally mean to people they're more comfortable with, like spouses, parents, or even animals. Number 6. They're needy with women. Low-value men have basically little to no success with women. They chase women away by clinging onto them, and give way too much attention to them. They either don't know how to play the game when dating or play way too many mind games because they're afraid they aren't good enough. They need constant reassurance from their partner, and confirmation of continued commitment. If their girl ever goes out without them or are far away, they turn insanely jealous and lash out. Number 7. They can't control themselves. High-quality men are the type of men who set their own standards, and value their opinion more than some random persons on TV. They actually do their own research before they develop their own opinion, and don't just listen to what whatever news channel or politician is telling them to believe. Whereas low-value men are the complete opposite. Low-quality men don't much value or have their own opinions. They pick their favorite news channel and politician, then believe whatever they are told to believe. Their egos are built around fitting in, and being liked. They would rather conform to what's around them in order to not risk standing out or being challenged. They follow other people's rules in order to gain acceptance. They become these people that put on a mask because they have low self-esteem. They don't feel that being just themselves is enough for anyone. They're terrified someone might find out their flaws or find out that they might have different opinions than them, so they do everything they can to act like they are so much alike the people they're around. For example, if a man is following the widespread feminist culture, it's most likely because he is a low-value man trying to seek approval from others by virtue signaling and trying to show off his fake open-mindedness. They're the types of men who would say things like, "Just because a woman wants to sleep around and party doesn't mean she would make a good partner." Right. The degree of value a man is never set in stone. A man can always increase his value and become a higher value man. As long as you are seeking to increase your own value, you're already a higher value man than most. Most people have no motivation to do the things that would make them a man of higher value. Another thing is this can also be situational at times. There are plenty of times throughout my life personally where I was a man of lower value, and I'm sure there will be plenty more times where that is the case. But if overall you continue to strive towards your goals and become better, year after year, you will be a high-value man. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video.